here for Campbell's Comedy Corner. Aren't we excited? Yeah! It's our 9 millionth episode. We're pretty excited. I've been doing this for 10,000 years. I should be pretty good at it by now. I am struggling with this getting older. You know, this getting older is not easy. It doesn't help me in business either. You know, there is nobody in the comedy world going, let's do a special for the seniors. Ain't Dead Yet comedy special really isn't a popular one going, you know. Let's do HBO special afternoon in Denny's, you know, for the senior. Guess who's still making them laugh? Comedy special, you know. I'm having trouble. Your body does all kinds of things you're not ready for, you know. For some reason, I sweat more around my stomach than on my arms. What the hell that's all about? I get these big sweat stains here, deodorant on your belly button. It's gross. Hair does all kinds of bizarre things. Stops coming to my head, comes out of my ears and my nose. Who the hell's ready for that? And hair does all those weird things. Then you go to the bathroom more often. As you get older, men know you go to the bathroom more often. I'm getting used to this. But now every time we're out, go to leave, my wife treats me like a 2-year-old. Bill, do you have to use the restroom? No, I think I'm okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Don't you think you should try? All right, better go piss some old. And now I hate mirrors. I hate mirrors, period. Every time I look in a mirror, I go, Jesus, who is that guy? Oh, that's me. I look like that now. This job I did in the Pocono somewhere, you know, and they have this, supposed to get all these honeymooners, you know, land of love and everything. I get in the hotel room, there's mirrors everywhere. There's a big circular bed with the mirrors on the ceiling. This is supposed to be romantic. Everywhere I look, I go, who is that guy? That fat old bald and son of a gun, that's me. Oh my God, how depressing. Not romantic. Oh, a little special going on there? So, I don't know. It's just getting older, you know. I mean, then you have all these ads on TV now for Viagra, Cialis, Levitra. I mean, the side effects scare the hell out of me. You know, with a 4-hour consult your physician. I'm thinking an hour and a half I'm on the phone. Hey, doc's been over an hour. I'm kind of concerned. One of the side effects is delayed back pain. I'm thinking 4 hours, not much of a delay. How about immediate back pain? But the worst is the one where they say, if you start to lose your sight, stop taking the drug. How horny and stupid do they think we are? I can't see. I'm pretty turned on. Give me 2 more of those babies. I don't think so. And it's not just the sexual drugs. They got some bronchitis drug. You get to the side effects, swollen tongue, swollen throat, trouble passing urine, and severe constipation. I think I'll keep the cough, you know what I mean? And now I can't go to the bathroom either direction. You can't talk about it because your tongue's also, I can't pierce you, help me. It's torture. You know, and now they have all these side effects always have constipation and diarrhea. It's never constipation or diarrhea. What the hell is it like having those 2 things at the same time? Oh, it's happening. Oh, it's torture. And a lot of them have acne. What's with the acne? Every time I get a pimple now, a pimple. The constipation and diarrhea can't be too far behind. Tell the doc I ain't taking that stuff no more. I'm through with it. Swear to God, I've seen this ad on TV. I've been doing this bit for a while. I'm looking at this ad, and one of the side effects was explosive bowel movement disruption. Whoa! What is that like? And then it goes a little further. It goes, and on rare occasions, death. Well, yeah, he had explosive bowel movement disruption, never survived. What happened to the guy? I don't know. Bowel movement coming out every orifice of his body, out of his ears, his nose. It just exploded out of him. But we're going to have an explosive comedy show. How you doing? Got a very funny lady coming to the show. You want this, Amy? Okay. This lady I've known for a long time. She's a sweet lady, and she's a very funny lady. She just did a 1-person show at the Amazing I'm going to forget the name. Amazing Things Arts Center in Framingham. It's a terrific place. 1-person show, funny lady. You're going to love her. Please welcome Amy T.
Thank you, Bill. It's the Amazing Things Arts Center. Just clear it up because you guys are going to try to Google amazing things. I don't know I don't know. So thank you very much. Wow, I just feel like some of you are just looking at me like, what bathroom is she going to use? A little bit. It's the one with the shortest line at all times. I can tell you that right now. But do we even care about that? No. We don't, right? What do we care about? Just wash your hands when we're done, right? That's it, right? Because we've all been in a public restroom where someone will just leave without washing their hands, the flush and rush, if you will, right? Or you'll be in a restaurant and you'll see the sign that says the employees must wash their hands before returning to work. What about the general public? Part of maybe routine hygiene. So I always thought a more appropriate sign should read, "Hey, you nasty beast, rinse the tips," at the very least. I have a friend of mine that comes over to my house and she doesn't wash her hands after she goes to the bathroom, and she'll touch all my stuff. I don't like that. Like if I invite you over for dinner and you ask what you can bring, it's not hepatitis C. All right, we're all on board the bus, right? I don't like to be Captain Obvious with my Katie Lang haircut, but we're good? All right, let's take this for a ride. Because you can't always tell, right? You can't always tell when people are gay or straight. Like my friends and I, we play this game all the time. If we're at the mall, people watching or whatever, we'll look at people and be like, lesbians or sisters? Sometimes it's hard to tell. Lesbian, maybe an animal shelter volunteer. Lesbian, a middle-aged woman that just let herself go. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell when you're out in a club, when you're out dancing, whether a woman's gay or straight, or the ever-popular bi, which I've come to determine means buy me another drink. Free beer queer. I don't care what team you play on, just finish the game you started. That's all. Right, you guys are good. All right. So I'm very happily married, again for the third time. Yeah, because I'm good at being married. Honestly, I love it. In defense of me, I married and divorced the same woman twice. I swear to God. Because after a couple of martinis, you fall back in love again. It's a whole thing. And it was getting expensive, too, getting married and divorced so many times. Because, you got to give her the house, take it back, give her the house, take it back. It was, I'm just kidding. I'm a comedian. She gave me the house, took it back. Gave me the house, took it back. I love my wife now, and I say current wife because we don't know. With my track record, we don't know what's going to happen. So the wife I have now, I absolutely adore. I love. I'm just kidding. I joke about the third time being the charm, but honest to God, the sun rises and sets on this woman. Like, this is what I tell my wife now. I tell my wife that I feel like the universe tailor-made her and hand-delivered her to me. I know, isn't that a great line, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Put that one in your back pocket, because that's a good one. If you find yourself single again, you can use it. I don't want you to try to use it tonight. Because then it'll get awkward, and she'll be thinking about me, and it's just weird. So, just kidding. No, but this is how I know I was sitting at the right place at the right time when I met my wife. I was sitting there filling out my discharge papers after my 2-week inpatient stay for bipolar. And so I'm filling out the paperwork, and I started flirting with the nurse, and I looked over and I go, "Hey, you ever take your work home with you?" And she married me. Like, how awesome is that? I married a psych nurse. Oh my God, it's awesome. It's like in-home care without the copay. Yeah. The deductible's a little bit of a pain, but that's all right. Love my wife. I recently celebrated my birthday recently, and my wife isn't the greatest gift giver. And I know I sound like a spoiled, rotten, only child brat, but actually, my wife likes to give me gifts that she wants for my celebrations. Like, like somehow I'll end up with a sweater that looks fabulous on her, or a piece of jewelry she's been eyeing on Etsy somehow ends up on my Christmas stocking or whatever. And after this year's debacle with Valentine's Day, we just stopped celebrating Valentine's Day after this year's debacle. Because this year for Valentine's Day, I opened up 6 weeks to the Brazilian butt lift, the 3 DVD set. Yeah, that's what I got. And I opened this gift, and I was like, this gift sucks. And she's like, no, honey, that's not for you to do. That's for me to do for you so that I have the Brazilian butt lift. And I said, oh, well, if that gift was actually for me, shouldn't you have started on New Year's Day so that by 6 weeks later, you would have the ass that goes with this gift? Because right now I just have coffee table coasters, and you don't have the butt, so I don't know. Love my wife. I do love my wife. We joke. We have been putting on a little bit of weight since we've been married, and we put on like that honeymoon hunk. You know that weight, that like the 10 pounds that you put on the honeymoon, and then when you get home, you're like, oh, we'll take it off, and we'll get in shape or whatever. And then you're like, forget it. This is the cow you bought. This is what you got. Like, no. So we did. We put on a little bit of weight, and so now, like, I just have like the new goal weight for me is I just want to fit back into my underwear again. Like, that's my goal. Do you know how fat you have to get that your underwear doesn't fit anymore? That's how fat I got. Like, there's a lot of given underwear, and I gave it all out. Like, that's how, right? Like, I gave myself lymphedema in my right leg because I was cutting off the circulation in my leg, right? No. So now I went back to the gym, and I'm taking the spinning class at the gym, and I love this class. You ride the stationary bike for like an hour. I love this class. And there's one instructor at my gym that I kind of chase her schedule because she's just amazing, and she has the hugest eyes, and it's a lot of fun to watch for an hour. And but she's aggressive in her motivation tactics. Like, we'll be in class and she'll just start screaming at us. She'll be like, "You guys better move, move, move. I'm beating you up the hill." And I'm like, "Whoa, Adolf Hitler. I don't know if anybody told you, but your bike is facing the other way." None of us are going anywhere, really. I would like to tell the spin bike manufacturers that my ass is bigger than the Egg McMuffin that I'm sitting on. I got a new to me car recently. I love car shopping. I think it's a sport. I love car shopping. I think because like you can go on the internet, go there with all that information, and go and haggle, you know. And I'm the type of person that will sit there all day over $15. Like, I love it. Go ahead, talk to your manager, come back and talk to me. I'm here all day. Let's make this happen. You know, like, oh, love it. So I went to the car lot, and my wife told me, she's like, "Honey, I want you to go in and trade my car in and get a Kia." Yeah, nobody gets a Kia on purpose. Unless you're trying to rebuild your credit or something, and that wasn't the case here. And so when I got to the car lot, I looked over on the right-hand side. They had a whole section of used cars, and that's where I spotted it out of the corner of my eye. It was the 2000 911 Periwinkle Porsche Carrera convertible. Yeah, right? And then all the 8 years of we've been together of crappy gifts just flashed before my eyes. So I drove home in the Periwinkle Porsche Carrera convertible. Oh, I love my car. Look, I thought it was a brilliant idea. Like, I work 20 minutes a day. She works full time. I thought I had plenty of time to use it. Like, I thought it was a great idea, you know? And I love everything about my car. I love the fact that it starts on the left, the trunk is in the front. I love the color. I love everything about it, right? But it's an unspoken Porsche thing that you're supposed to wave to other Porsche people. You know, it's like the Jeep thing, which I love. I think we should adopt that for all our cars. Like, if you have like a Toyota Camry, beep and wave to another Toyota Camry. Like, how friendly would that be? Like, right? Like, beep, beep, good morning, Hyundai. How are you? Have a great day. Like, I love that, right? But it hurts me in my soul when other Porsche people don't wave to me. Like, it breaks my heart, right? Because if I think I'm going to bond with somebody for a split second at 70 miles an hour on the highway, like, I get so excited. I'm like, oh my God, I can see him come in my rearview mirror. Here he comes. Like, all right, here we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And I'll look and I'll go and wave and then just drive by and they don't even look. And it's like, ooh, in my soul. Right? Yeah, it breaks my heart. Like, when is the bullying in this country going to stop? Like, enough is enough. And then I'm left there on the highway looking in my rearview mirror like, I am kind, I am smart, I am important, right? You know, like, hashtag white girl problems with a Porsche. It's a real thing. My wife came to one of my shows recently, and she hadn't heard any of these jokes yet, you know. So we're driving home, and she is just nagging at me. And she's like, "I don't understand why you have to tell all our business on stage. Why do you have to tell everybody everything?" And I said, "Well, honey, maybe you should have signed a HIPAA instead of a prenup, and we wouldn't even be having this conversation." You guys have been a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
My wife wonders why I tell her to on stage for years. ABT, you're on applause. We're going to take a short break. We're going to mention our sponsors. Allison Ludwig at Home ERA Realty Key. She's at ERA Key Realty Services. The guy said it. There you go. We're take a short break and be right back. Amy T! There we go! Nice job, Amy!
Thank you very much.
Amy and I have known each other for a while.
Yes.
Back in the old days.
Yep.
I was working on a one-person show when I met you, and now you have a one-person show.
Come full circle.
I know. Tell me about the show. How exciting. You did it at that place I didn't say, right?
Yes.
Amazing
Things
Arts
Arts
Center.
Yes.
Framingham.
In Framingham.
Anybody ever been there? It's a terrific place. They usually have a lot of singers, and they do comedy shows. It's a theater kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's a great little theater. It's actually an old firehouse, so it's got so it's kind of fun. It's just a fun little space. It's really great, and it's been 8 years in the making. I got sober 8 years ago, and I was diagnosed with bipolar at the same time when I got sober. Coincidence? No. And so I've just taken that journey of recovery and dual diagnosis and my journey with bipolar disorder and combined it into my show and made a story about it.
So, do you take an intermission? Do you do it straight through?
I did it straight through for 1 hour, which was actually the whole thing was just more of a personal goal that I wanted to do just for myself, like just to say that I could do my own hour and been writing it and been working on it for years, and it just kind of fell together.
So how'd you put it together? I know going from stand-up to the one-person show, obviously there's a serious story there.
There is, and
How do you work in the humor or the?
you know, and of all my stand-up that you just saw, everything that you see is true. So I was able to take the story and the journey of getting sober and being diagnosed with bipolar through humor. Like, you know, and when I got diagnosed and got sober, I just immediately started writing jokes about it because it was cathartic for me. As you know, like it's just as much therapy being up here for me and you. So it's funny, like you take it down that dark road and you can feel the audience tense up. And I don't know, and because it was a personal journey for me and it was a personal experience, I don't know if like when I felt the audience tighten, if I reverted so much back to stand up that, I don't know if it was for me to get rid of
How
the
many times have you done it?
Just the once now.
Oh, so
and
it's new.
it is still very new, but again, it was just a personal
But it's so
victory.
exciting, Amy.
So exciting.
You should keep doing it because you know what happened to me. I'm not going to say it happens to everybody. I'm no expert at this. I've done stand-up 8 million times, and I've done one-person show maybe 30 times. There's a different rhythm to it, you know. The stand-up rhythm has you get them going, and then you kind of get them, you know. In the one-person show, they like the story. You obviously have a very compelling story.
Thank you.
So they like the story. They don't want you sticking too much humor. So they almost don't like it, you know. And you don't get a laugh, and you go, that usually gets a laugh. I'm not doing so good.
Right.
No, they're liking your story, and if you go too, you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I felt it on stage, and I work for the National Alliance of Mental Illness, so I go in and I speak to colleges and hospitals and stuff like that on my journey of recovery and bipolar disorder. So I already do the one-person show all the time and integrate the humor. So I thought it was going to be easy, but it really shifted when
Takes a little practice.
Oh, absolutely.
Because when you're telling your story, your humor just comes out naturally. Because it's part of who you are and it comes out.
Right.
When you're performing it, you gotta work,
There is definitely
it isn't gonna come
something
naturally as easily. But it's so exciting. Have you any more planned?
I do. I've got some. Yeah, I got some coming up in the North Shore, and so now I want to tweak it a little bit, and then maybe it's me that needs to get comfortable with the fact that I'm taking it down the dark road a little bit, you know. So I don't know if it's so much me or the audience. Maybe it could be just me that I'm like.
Just the description. It's not a dark road.
Yeah.
It's a story. It's a personal story.
It's
hard. It's a serious topic.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it isn't compelling and entertaining.
Well, you know, once I was diagnosed and got sober, I realized like how many millions of people in their 30s, mid-30s, and that's where I was diagnosed in, like how many people must be walking around for as long as I was, undiagnosed and unmedicated and just not doing a good job.
Was there an order to it? Did you find out about the disorder before you got sober? Did you get sober first?
I actually I tried to commit suicide. My mom found me,
wow.
and
Really?
and then a couple of weeks later.
I remember your mother.
Yeah, she's a good woman. And a couple of weeks later, I had done a show in New Jersey, and the next morning I woke up in New York City in the fireplace. I had passed out in some strange apartment fireplace. I had no idea how I got from New Jersey to New York. And literally some people burn bridges. I'm in a fireplace. And I woke up and I took an inventory. I like shook myself and I was like, you're in your mid-30s. you're $62,000 in debt. I had gained 60 pounds. My car had been repossessed, and I literally had nothing to show for it but isolation, humiliation, and desperation. So that's when I picked myself up, and I was just like, all right, something's got to give. And my mom begged me to go talk to somebody, and I agreed to talk to a family friend that was a therapist, because she had had 30 years that she had known me, and I didn't have to start from the beginning. So when I agreed to talk to her, she gave me the diagnosis, put me on a path of treatment. And
So you talked to somebody, she diagnosed you with the, and then she said part of the treatment is to stop drinking.
well, actually,
you'd
that was
already
me.
stopped
I
it.
know that was all me, because when I woke up from the fireplace and I looked out and I was like, everything that
was your low
bad,
point.
Yeah, everything bad that had happened, alcohol was always involved. So let's take that out of the equation and see what happens, right?
How long were you sober before you went to see the person that diagnosed the?
No, minutes. Like literally, this was a Saturday and this was Monday.
So it kind of went together.
It really did, but I just knew that I could not drink. And then I just, now I'm going to be on medication. You can't drink. It's just like a whole thing, So I really embraced the diagnosis and embraced the
That
fact
made the being sober easy. It's never easy.
Right, but it made sense.
Doable.
Absolutely, made everything make sense. And then I just knew, like, I wanted to beat it, cure it, whatever. I've been off my meds for more than 3 years.
That's
Yeah,
great.
because I think the sobriety was a giant
How hard was
component.
it to finally go off the meds?
It wasn't. It was my wife, because as a psych nurse, we watched it and we tapered off, and it was just something for me. It was like a personal thing that I wanted to try for myself, because when you go in and they're here, take these meds, do this, go to treatment, do this. All right, I'll do all that because that's what you told me to do. And then I would go in and get an adjustment, and they'd be like, well, Amy T, how do you feel? I don't know. I don't know what you want me to feel. I just told you I tried to kill myself. I'm $62,000 in debt. I don't have a car. Like, I have all this thing. I don't know what you want me to feel. Because there's not a book I can go and look up and say, all right, at this point you're supposed to feel like this, you're supposed to feel like that. So after 5 years of doing the regimen their way,
Avoiding feelings.
that's it. And so I didn't know what the meds were making me feel or not feel. And so after 5 years of being sober, doing my treatment and doing everything their way, I just had a baseline of information. So I said to my wife when I turned 40, I said, I'd like to come off
So with
the
the meds, it's harder to feel?
I don't know what it was they wanted me to feel.
Oh, I see.
Right? Like, because I didn't know what normal was. I'd been drinking. I was in chaos. I didn't know what normal was. So I wanted to feel what everything was. Now, if I have to go back on my meds, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
I'd love to keep talking, but they just gave me the sign.
Yeah,
I got a minute to go.
All right, thank you.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank
It's been
you.
so
It's
long
been
since
great
we've
to
seen
see
each
you. I
other.
know.
It's great to see you. I know you've been in the comedy world. You're funny as anything.
Thank you.
And do the one-person show. Keep doing it.
I'm going to.
The story is the important part. The humor will come with it.
All
when it
right.
comes. Amy T, your round of
Thank you.
applause. That's another Campbell's Comedy Corner. And thank Allison Ludwig at ERAQ Realty Services, my sponsor. Give a round of applause. I learned to talk. I will be back again. Campbell's Comedy Corner. Thank you, audience. We're done.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.